Okay.
So tell us about Project Beauty.
Let's talk.
So for those of you who have never heard of Project Beauty, we are a 501c3 nonprofit.
First off, commercial break. That's a big thing. When you're 501c3.
501.
Yes. That's a big deal. Big deal. Kudos to you.
I appreciate you saying that because I think most people, and I will get into what Project Beauty is about.
Yes.
Most people don't know about the journey that it took to get the 501.
Yes.
501c3. And so that's a whole nother episode.
That's a big deal.
Project Beauty is a 501c3 nonprofit in the Dallas area. Our mission is to empower through the universal language of beauty. We teach women self-love, self-care. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You guys are so amazing. See, this is how you know you guys are around queens. Fixing your hair right when you're being aired, okay? I
Boom, got it.
Moment, fancy.
We love you.
Like it?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So we go into shelters and transition homes, and we help survivors of domestic violence, sex trafficking, and also homelessness. And what we do is we bring the whole beauty experience into the organization. Right. You guys have actually all been a volunteer. These girls are all beauty angels. That's what we call our volunteers. So what we do is we go in, we provide complimentary beauty services. The mission is to not only let these women see themselves in their true light, which is the way God created them to be, right? They're whole, they're beautiful. Because in that brokenness, sometimes you need another woman, another peer to say, you know what, you're going to be okay. And I'm here for you. The fact that when we go into these places and we let them know that we're here just for you, right there is important. Because we're showing them that they're valued and they're not invisible. Right. But once they see the transformation through the beauty services, they're looking at themselves for the first time and they're just in awe. Because they have always looked at themselves through this filter, right? Of being ugly, not worthy. No one cares for me. Because that's the brainwashing.
Right.
Because when you go through abuse, that's what's in your mind. You're being brainwashed that you're nothing. Right. And so in that moment, what we want to accomplish is to simply elevate their energy and their emotions to see their beauty and that to really be the catalyst for self-healing. Because there's a lot of organizations out there, they're doing great work, right? To stop domestic violence, to stop sex trafficking, and to stop homelessness. But there is this other space, right, that exists. And as a survivor, I've lived at a shelter. Wow. So I remember being on my journey and just remembering that when you get out or when you're in the situation, there's still the space where I have to know. I have accountability in my own healing process. Right. It's not just getting on my feet, getting clothes, and getting, a place to stay and making sure my kids are okay. Is at some point I have to say, what part do I play in my own healing process?
That's good. So tell us about your own personal testimony as much as you'd like to share.
Yeah. No, I mean,
how you got to this point.
Absolutely. And I'm comfortable talking about it. I mean, I've done interviews about it. And when you're healed, it doesn't bother you.
Ooh,
right?
Say it
when you're not healed. It's when you're healed. Yeah. You can talk about it.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Okay, because when it's still triggering you and you're still emotional and you still have tears, that's a sign that there's still underlying wounds there. Right. Okay, and that's okay. But I couldn't do what I do right now if I didn't have to go through and heal myself.
Right. There is a meme, and it's a beautiful. I like to put a lot of inspirational things on my page. Motivational Monday. Yeah. But it said, and I hope I'm quoting this. If not, I'm going to find it again. But you're not responsible as a child how you were programmed, but you are 100% responsible as an adult. That's right. For fixing it. And see, a lot of times the fixing, that means I got to dig into my dirt. I got to get into my closets. I have to expose myself.
What's my part in it?
What's my part in cleaning this up? I got to get to my 100%. That's right. I'm an adult now, and I can't continue to blame people for things in the past.
And sometimes what you have to do, it may seem simple, but it's hard for some people to just look yourself in the mirror and say, I've got to make a change.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That is
I've
the
gotta
hardest
make a
part.
change. That's
the
a hard
hardest
part.
part.
Why
The
do you keep going
awareness.
through these loops with yourself?
Right.
Yes. And like I know that as a survivor, why a lot of women or men go back to their abuser is because that healing never took place. Mm-hmm. They don't see the worthiness in themselves. They don't know that they're worthy of more and that they deserve more respect and that I deserve healthy boundaries, right? You can love someone and still honor yourself.
Right.
And so that concept has to take place in that women themselves so that they can say, I'm not going to go back.
Right.
So that's why Project Beauty exists. Mm-hmm. We want to really bring light to that part of healing.
Right.
And there's not a lot of organizations that are doing that. To hold a space for women who have been through traumatic experiences, but not only the women in the shelter. I want to empower women in the community because just because you're not in a shelter doesn't mean that you don't have healing.
Exactly. I've always said we one paycheck from being homeless. So.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But that's the thing is that we we don't give the space to ourselves to heal.
Right.
Like you said, it's easier just to repeat those generational patterns, right?
Right.
Than to say, how can I consciously make a different decision? And I'll tell you just a little story about my family background, right? Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Hong Kong. I'm a first-generation immigrant.
Oh, wow.
Had to learn English all over, I went to New York first, and it was really rough because we were broke. I came to in America like with a box. My family literally was just exactly how you picture it. We all came with the box. And we didn't know anyone. I didn't speak the language. We were sleeping on my aunt's apartment in Brooklyn for a year because we couldn't afford our own place.
Wow.
And my father, he was an orphan. So he had generational wounds that he never dealt with. And he was always very angry. Mm-hmm. And as time went by, we realized that he was mentally ill. But he didn't know it at the time because in my culture, and like many culture, mental illness just isn't talked about. You're not sick. You just need to go to sleep.
Right. Go pray about it. Yeah.
And so for the longest, we just didn't know my dad was sick.
Wow.
Every day. He beat my mom up every day. He beat me every day. And it was something that I endured for probably most part of my life, all the way till I ran away. Mm-hmm. I ran away when I was 16 because I just wanted to escape. I wanted to do better, for my sisters. I have 2 younger sisters. And for me, I knew that was coming for them. Because my dad, it was 3 girls, and I'm the oldest. And so he would beat my mom and I, but he would spare my younger sisters because they were still young. But I knew time was coming.
Right.
That the anger it was just going to go to everyone. And so I ran away because I asked my mom, I said, you got to leave, you're going to die. And she said, I can't.
Thank you, Park, for sharing that.
Because in our culture, we just don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
We stay and we make it work.
No matter what.
Based on traditions, we're going to stay and make it work no matter what. I'm not going to bring shame to my family. So you see how all those key words that we're saying, that's the way it's always been done. There's the guilt. There's this. That's just what she was taught.
Honestly, some of that is in the African American culture too.
And in a lot of culture. And so for me as a young girl, I always knew I was different. I was always outspoken. I never wanted to follow just the status quo. I just spoke up. And I told my mom, and I was like, I can't do this.
Don't start a box.
I was kind of rowdy. I mean, I have some people on this that's listening that actually have known me for quite some time. I used to have a very troubled past. I went from a straight A student cheerleader to fighting, skipping school, smoking weed, because I was like, I want to get out of this.
Right.
I just want to be on my own, make money, and because money was everything, right? When you're poor, you think money's going to solve all your issues. You think money is going to solve.
It's so real.
So I left home trying to make money, skip school. I'm like, if I have money, I can just save my sister. I can get my own apartment. So anyway, long story short, I got involved with a bunch of people just didn't really care for me, right? 16-year-old girl. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. And so I got involved with some guys. One of them became my boyfriend. And he was super abusive. But it didn't start out that way. Abuse just doesn't start out with him slapping you.
Right.
It starts out with control.
Mm-hmm. Get you here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get her here.
Your mental game.
Been there, done that. I don't know what's worse, physical or mental abuse.
I think it's equally.
Yeah.
It's equally damaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're going through emotional abuse, they're wearing you down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To the point where you don't even know who you are anymore.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what happened to me. It was like verbal, then it escalated to pushing, shoving.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I was in the car with him and I said something, I don't even know what it was. And next thing I know, he just pushed my head into the car window. And like in that moment, I had a flashback of my dad hitting me. And it was that same fear that came up in my gut. Like, wait, why am I afraid? But then, because that's how my dad told me he loved me, the rationality in my brain said, that's just love. And that's how programming goes from one generation to the next. Because I associated that to the right thing. Because my blueprint from childhood is that hitting is love.
Ooh, check your blueprint.
Right? Your blueprint.
You speaking a word.
Girl.
They try you getting oily. You getting real oily.
Are we
getting real oily.
Yes.
No, I have thought about this a lot. But the blueprint was all jacked up. So I thought that was love. And of course, it escalated to the point where on Halloween, one day he came home and he wasn't happy about the way it was something I was wearing or something I did that day because he had people watching me, right? Because that's what they do.
Wow.
They want to control your every move. And I remember him telling me, "Oh, you think you can go to the car wash and talk to so and so and not tell me about it?" He then took the duct tape, he took the pistol out because he was a drug dealer, and he tied me to the chair. He went and got a coat hanger and he went and branded me. That was the day that I got branded. And I remember that day being the turning point of my life because once I was in the closet, like the memory's very vague, right? It's like I'm in and out because he was beating me with the pistol. I was really messed up. I'm gonna spare all the gory details.
I can only imagine.
But I was thrown into the closet and I was just there, left to die. I mean, I was bleeding, I was in and out of consciousness, and I remember just praying to God and just saying, you know, I don't know why I exist, and I don't know why I'm here, because I've always been suicidal from the age of 9 because of the abuse.
Right.
It's not the first time that I've thought of killing myself. I've actually tried several times from the age of 9 to kill myself. So in that moment, it was like, why do I exist? Nothing good has come to me in my life. I've experienced nothing but pain and abuse and betrayal and just horrible experiences.
Right.
I said, God, if I do exist, you need to show me.
Okay, I need
right now,
I need a word right now. I need it now. Not
yesterday,
not in a couple hours now.
Anyway, fast forward, I remember coming out of that experience. I didn't leave the house for 6 months. I was so beat up. I couldn't leave. And by that time, though, nobody really cared about me because I had distanced myself from my family and my friends. They don't even know where I was, you know.
Isolation.
That's what happens. You don't have anyone to call on to. But
that's where the enemy wants you to be, by yourself.
A few years after that, he was taken to jail. And so I escaped, and that's when I went to a shelter and got help. And I just remember being in the shelter and feeling like I'm very broken. And even though there were very nice people there who wanted to give me resources like, hey, here's some interviewing skills, here's some workshops you can sign up for, this is the way to get your housing, here's to get clothes. I didn't feel that support to say, you're beautiful and you're worthy. And I know you don't feel that right now, but you are.
Wow.
Like I felt like that was missing. And when I left, I remember going back to people that I knew here and there and saying, look, I'm homeless. Like, can I sleep on your couch? Because when I left, I didn't have anything to go back to. And so kindness of the people, you know, random people that I didn't even know really, was giving me places to stay. And so in that span of 1 year, I got myself back together and I went to work like a normal person and everything. And if you met me after that, you would never know that I went through that because I absolutely covered it up. I suppressed it and was like, I'm functioning now. I'm well.
I'm good.
back to society I go. You know, I'm completely okay.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't be more wrong because I never dealt with those wounds,
Right.
right? But I just was acting like I was functional, and because I'm smart and I'm resilient, I was pretending. It was great. You know, even up to the part when I had my child, I felt like I was fine, but I was always battling depression. I was always battling anxiety because those inner wounds, they don't just go away.
Right.
That's why a lot of women out there, if you're listening, if you don't deal with your shit,
Right.
Girl.
and
For
you
real.
try to go be the CEO and you want to go get this job and you're always finding yourself stuck at a certain point,
Right.
because that's where I went. It was like every time I got to a certain level and I felt like there was another level ahead,
Right.
I couldn't get there. It was like, dang it, it was something stopping me.
Right.
It was depression will pop up or something would trigger me into this spiral effect. But that's because we never dealt with the bullshit.
Right.
We never
You gotta
dealt
deal
the
with
bullshit.
Take my jewelry off.
He took your
She
jewelry off.
tried to build a
She took her
mansion
jewelry
on
off.
a pit of
Oh,
quicksand.
But
Say that again. Deal with
The
your
bullshit.
shit.
You gotta
You
do
don't have to do
My
it all at once.
goodness.
You
don't have
don't.
to do it all at once.
In
But you
pieces.
have to have awareness
Right.
why shit exists.
Right.
Because I was like, you know what? I'm fine. Because look how I was making 6 digits at the age of 21, managing a lot of employees at a very successful finance firm. You watching me from the outside, you wouldn't think that I was broken.
Right.
You wouldn't think that I was suicidal every 6 months and wanted to slit my wrist at home. You wouldn't know that I went home every night and almost cried because I felt like even though I was excelling at a level that nobody could understand why I was doing so well in my company, I secretly cried when I went home and said, you are not good enough.
Because that was all the internal brain.
That was the internal programming.
What got you to the point where you said, you know what, as an adult, I am 100%, as an adult, I am 100% invested in myself to fix myself. What point did you, what was your breaking point? Like, I need a therapist and I need one now.
Yeah, I want to say that it wasn't just one moment, but it was a series.
A collective amount of moments.
You kept going up and down.
It was like the universe, God, source, whoever you want to call that person, the supreme creator.
Right.
Higher power.
There was these moments that I saw that happened throughout different stages of my life that was like, something's wrong.
Okay.
I remember like when I was at my company and I had to take a mental break one year because I was pushing myself so hard.
Been there, done that.
And that was a moment where I thought, Joe, I think you got some stuff going on. I remember my therapist literally told me, they said, Joe, you're depressed. But do you know that you're severely depressed? And I said, no. I'm fine. Okay.
Right. What are you talking about?
I'm not depressed. No, please. You know.
Yeah.
And so I stopped going. And so that was another moment. And then really what changed me though, guys, is when I had my son. When you have a child, and I truly believe that children are meant to put in your lives to be a reflection of your generation, the bloodline, where you need to change the pattern.
Thank you.
When I had my son.
When you lose your blueprint, you get another one when you get your child.
When you have your children, what happens is that all of those toxic patterns that it's brewing inside that you're trying to suppress, guess what? That's going to pop up. Because guess how you're going to raise your kids?
Just how you were
That
raised.
you internalized all your pain. Yeah. You're going to go through that same.
You are going to pull from your blueprint.
There you go.
Right.
And my blueprint, remember guys, was all jacked up. So, but for some reason, I can never hit my child. Something inside me was like, I can't hit my child.
Right.
But my partner at the time wasn't quite on the same wavelength. He did want to spank my child. You know, and I respect him and I understand. I'm not saying, I don't even want to talk about that because that's a very controversial topic right here. But I don't spank my child. And anyway, long story short, that was another moment where I was like, who am I as a mother? I had to really examine, what does that look like, treating my child? What does love look like? What does acceptance look like? Because having a child, it's going to trigger you, right? They're not going to do the things that you're going to want them to do.
Right.
You're going to be tested on your patience. So all your belief system is going to be tested.
Right.
So in that moment, I felt that was another big moment. Like, okay, Joe, you got to fix whatever's going on. Because I was getting angry and I saw myself wanting to spank my child. And then what happens is then I'll guilt myself. So after I wanted to punish my child, I don't do it. I still suffer afterwards and beating myself up. Right? You know how you guys go through a situation and then when it's over, you spend 3 to 4 days afterwards thinking about it, wasted energy.
Right.
No point.
I should have done this. I should have done that. They better be glad they didn't do this. They better be glad they didn't do that. Well, I don't know, but maybe it was all me. It was me. Right.
You are just chasing your tail. Right. So
infinite loop.
So the big moment, I would say, the final moment that woke me up is when I went through a spiritual awakening in 2018. I went through a very supernatural experience with Source, with God, with Creator, with Universe. I can't even put into words that experience. I haven't really talked about it much actually on public, so you guys are hearing it for the first time. But
we get the deal.
So when I went through that experience, I literally woke up with a new sense of what's really real and the truth of what I needed to handle within myself. And so I started to really examine my patterns. Because I was really sick at that time. During that time that I went through my spiritual growth, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. I was handicapped at the time because I couldn't walk. Within 6 months, I couldn't walk.
Wow.
And I was in bed. Yeah, this right here.
Wow.
You guys have no idea.
Why?
I was in bed. I couldn't even pick up a water bottle. I was so handicapped because it affects all your bones. And anyway, so I have 2 boys at the time, and I couldn't do anything for them. So I just plummeted. I started meditating and I started looking for holistic way to heal myself.
Right.
And through that spiritual practice is when I started elevating my own energy and my emotions and really waking up to the fact that there's more beyond what I've been running, the programming that I've been running. So I started seeing the pattern. So when I talk to people, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm really mean to myself today. Like I'm noticing that every morning when I woke up, instead of me going, I'm grateful, I'm beautiful, I can, I'm capable, all the positivity that I do now, I was beating myself up. Think about your morning routine. I don't know if you guys wake up in the morning and have a routine, but how many women go to the mirror and the first thing they say is, oh God, I need to lose some weight.
Right. That's real.
Been to a gym in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, look at my hair.
Right.
This is not okay. Oh, I just wish I had some Botox.
Right.
We are just talking down to ourselves.
The enemy within me is what it is.
Every moment of the day, we are just chipping away our own self-esteem. So I had awareness that, wait a minute, the dialogue in myself was ugly. And so then I started to notice that when you're this way, your whole reality reflects that belief system. Right. I didn't have trust in other women. I mean, people that I was meeting was always negative, but that's because that's the world that I was living in. Right. I was always thinking that somebody was going to come and get me. I didn't want to let my guard down because of all the betrayal, and everything. So I'm like, I'm not going to, no. But the minute I realized that I'm an empowered individual and that nobody can really harm me because I'm a divine being, I'm God's child, it was like this light bulb. Right?
Epiphany.
Yeah, it was literally, it was like this moment where I'm just like, why am I even talking to myself that way? So that process really began. And let me tell you, the affirmation writing and the journaling, that was in that process, right? I started taking accountability for my own healing. Yeah. So I would write love letters to myself. I started doing research. I went into different therapists. I just poured myself into how to heal myself. And when you do that, you will see the change. Right. And once I was able to get out of that, everything that I had, all my illness and everything went away. I actually started studying Reiki and energy healing, and I actually went to Hawaii and trained and learned all about meditation and healing holistically. And my life just took a whole different course, and I looked at healing in a very different way. Healing in this society means that you're going to go see someone, they're going to prescribe you some pills. Right, without pills. And then that's it. That's healing. Thank you. And then you come back every month and let me know how you're doing. Right. No. Healing is about uncovering and unpeeling or peeling off those layers that you buried yourself in. And you're looking at all those toxic patterns that you've inherited from your parents, from your bloodline. It's a generational thing. Right. My mom went through abuse because my grandmother went through abuse. And then so did her mother. It's if you go back and examine your bloodline, you're going to see those patterns. Right. And guess what? You're going to have a choice when you realize, when you have awareness that that's in your bloodline, that means that you are the person to break those generational curses.
Yep.
And guess
Absolutely.
what? That moment is scary.
It is.
Because you're like, holy shit, like, I gotta be the one. Why?
Right. Yeah. Why am I be chosen?
Why?
You don't feel me?
I can't even deal with this. And then you close the whole suitcase, but then your suitcase stays packed. It was so funny, real quick. Well, I had a college professor. He was so funny. He had such a dry humor. But he said, you know, your parents pack you with a suitcase for life. They give you all the things that they think that you need and all the things that you may need later on or whatever. As you grow into an adult and as you grow just as a person, sometimes you're going to have to open that suitcase up and you're going to have to take inventory.
Yes.
Take out some things that I don't need.
Right. Yes.
You can't continue to carry it as like a carry-all because it's going to start busting open. You're going to have blown through the extenders on the suitcase. So you have to unpack some of those things in ways that parents have, and you have to input your own items, your own inventory. Right. And then sometimes you just got to take the whole whatever it is away and don't
throw the whole damn thing away.
Start over.
That's me. I had to throw it all away.
Right.
And you know what? And
so she's an architect because she had to do her own blueprint.
But here's the thing, guys. Most people don't throw it away. You know what happens? God will take it away. And then guess what? You're going to have to rebuild your own.
At some point. They hit my shoulder.
And that's why a lot of people go through stuff. Because you'll see that one person that you know who that is.
I got it in my head right now.
And you're like, this person, like, they know what they need to do.
Right.
And the next thing you know, they call you. Oh my God,
girl,
I lost my job. I lost my car. I'm sick. The man that I've been with for 20 years left me in my business. Because that's how it works. That's how it works. We don't learn unless we are broken. Down to the bones. And I hate to say that,
but
we just don't.
To get the lesson.
We don't learn until it is all been taken and stripped away.
The ego has to recognize, like, oh shit.
Right.
This is all
everything ain't right.
Everything that I've been holding on to.
I'm tell you.
No matter how
well I don't know, and I might have shared it before. I think I had my epiphany when I lost my job during the September 11th. And, lost my job, no money, no income. Here I am, 30 in my, late 20s, early 30s. And I'm having to ask, people for gas money. I'm having to ask my sister for gas money and all this. And it got to the point my girlfriends were like, well, let us know so we can help. I'm like, y'all can't help me. It's me and God right now.
Yeah.
I was so broke I couldn't even go buy resume paper because I wanted to find a job. Yeah. But I had to I'm like, you know what? You're not as tight as you think you are.
Right.
You're trifling, as a matter of fact. But you got to get to that point where you
call your own bullshit.
Exactly. Mama's like, she's raggedy. And I had to go through a whole bankruptcy to start over. That's like pressing that reset button. Right. And I'm not ashamed. Baby, don't let nobody tell you that a bankruptcy, because folk do it all the time. I'm just saying. But sometimes you have to hit that reset button.
That's right.
And matter of fact, it's also a lesson in that you have to be a good steward of what God gives you.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't take care of it, he'll take it away. And when you said sometimes it takes things and people and things away, sometimes death is your lesson.
Oh, death is a big one for
a big wake-up call.
Yes.
Right.
Because you ain't got nobody else to blame anymore. Sometimes you need to face your own. Because now it's you. Because that person is not even here to defend themselves anymore. Or to even put input. So now, again, cleaning out that suitcase, getting your cracks and crevices, and clean it out. I'm telling you, we keep coming back to Erykah Badu. She be on another level. But your bag lady, you carrying too much as women. You carrying it on your job. You carrying it in your house.
Right.
In your next
relationship. And what you carrying ain't even
cute. Ain't cute. And what you carrying ain't even necessary.
And you know what's really scary, guys, is that I even see people who think that their baggage is gone, but they don't even see that the company they're keeping and what takes their energy is still a baggage.
Man.
I had someone text me earlier this morning and was telling me, I get a lot of texts from different women in the community. They have my number.
Right.
Joe, I'm not feeling good today. And this message said, I don't feel love today. And I said, well, number one, you always love. Because you itself is the energy of love. And you know how you know you're the energy of love? Because you're God, you're part of God. And God is love.
Right.
So you can't be unloved. Number one, let's get that straight. Okay. But the other thing I want to say is you can never feel love if you are always planting yourself around situations and people that always tell you you're not loved. We can feel you all day, but then as soon as you leave my presence, you go back to the environment in which you do not thrive.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to thrive. It doesn't matter how many times you come and get water and fertilizer, whatever it is.
Seeds and
you
all
go
of that.
back to that dark room where nobody is thriving.
Where the sunlight is.
Unfertile
You're
soil.
going to die.
Why are you trying to plant
You're going to die.
in unfertile soil?
So I just want to say that getting rid of your baggage is only the beginning. But as you move in your healing journey, we have to be conscious about where we're putting our energy. And that's the content that we consume on social media.
Right.
That's the TV show that we're watching. Music that we're listening to. It's everything. Now, if you hear something, like even if it's a song has cuss words, I'm not saying that type of stuff.
Right.
It's how you feel when you listen to something. If you're following a bunch of people on social media that you're constantly feeling like you're not good enough,
you need to delete and unfollow, block.
Yeah, unfollow.
Seriously.
It's entertainment, but some people have taken it to another level by internalizing everything.
Well, because it can. Here's the thing.
Come on, man.
A lot of people they don't delineate because sometimes when they do make their social media path their life, it is their livelihood.
Yeah.
But there's still room for a separation. There's some days where I won't check Facebook and I look up and the notifications is
100
double digits, and I'm like, oh wow, I guess I better get on it. And
Right.
I'm terrible. I am terrible. And like social media activity, I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Like, oh, they're stupid. And people use it as an outlet sometimes.
Right.
I think what really kind of like a pet peeve is when they use it as a cry for help.
Yes.
But then stuff never changes.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right. I'm like,
you see those cryptic messages on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like, stop it already. Who are you posting for? Just make the change.
Right.
I had to tell somebody that. I did. I said, who are you posting for?
Have to do.
Right.
Is it the man that you're trying to change?
Right.
Is it the boss that
Why
you
don't
hate?
you change?
Right.
Take that energy that you wrote that post and start a flame.
Right. Period.
See, that's why I don't have time to act a nut out of a relationship. I'm like, let me back up.
Yeah.
Let me make sure Ty ain't got nothing to do with this. Make sure it ain't me.
And even if it is me, okay,
let me do me. Because I've always felt like before I put that energy into acting a fool with you, let me back up.
Yeah.
And work on myself.
Because your energy is your currency. And you don't go around giving dollar bills to everybody. Do you hand out dollar bills as you drive down Pioneer? I'm just asking. Because that's what you do with your energy when you give everybody your voice and your word and your attention.
Right.
You have to treat yourself like money. Right? So,
like money, baby. Like money.
Ooh.
There are moments when you have poured into people.
Yeah.
You've tried to guide people.
Yes.
And folks, they steal. They want to call and get your energy all the time.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's
and
always.
Sometimes you have to back up.
That's right.
Because if I'm constant as an adult, if I'm constantly telling you the same thing over and over, are you really truly listening?
Right.
One of those things I've gotten to the point where, you know what, my time is precious. Yes. My peace of mind is precious. And I'm going to do everything I can to protect that.
Right.
And I mean, do y'all feel the same way?
Yeah, like, I can't give up my peace and for some foolishness. I have too much to lose.
Just
my mental
and you see your self-worth though.
Yeah.
Real quick though, you see your self-worth. A person that don't see their self-worth cannot have that rationale. They can't go, I gotta please people.
Right.
People that are people pleasers, y'all, I'm gonna put it all out there today.
Please do.
When you people please, it's because you don't see your own self-worth. You're still trying to get that validation that if I did this, I would be liked more.
Right.
If I did this, they will love me.
If I belong to this, people will like me. Girl.
So this morning I had...
Girl, bye.
Real talk.
You have to get to a point where you can function on your own.
On your own.
Yeah.
You gotta be a movement.
Yeah. For real.
I love that. I'm gonna have to tell you what you gotta be a movement
by
your
own.
You gotta be a I know her.
We need some cups and t-shirts. shirts.
Right.
Seriously, you
I
guys
already got that on tap. I already got that
That's
on
what
lock.
I said. I know her.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Right.
I know her. I know myself. I am she. She
That's right.
is me.
That's right.
That's it.
Girl.
Right.
You have to get to a point where you have to realize that you can't please other people how they want you to please them all the time. So I've got to the point where if I'm not pleasing God while dealing with you, you got to be removed. I don't, if it's got to be just an easy block and not deal
An
with,
easy block.
or if
The block button is a beast.
Technology has really
The
helped
block
people
button
found
is a
boundaries.
beast.
block.
Listen,
But
man,
No.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have to be able
yeah.
to
I gotta
realize, like Joe said, your worth. That's the first thing. You really got to stand in front of the mirror. And I utilize my mirror every day because that's the thing that I go to and see every day.
True.
So,
My affirmations are right there on the mirror every morning.
period.
As I'm brushing my teeth.
I'm a living witness. She did. I say it all the time. When we competed, the weekend we won, and we went back. We would put her stuff in the apartment. She had on there what I will win or my goal.
That's
Miss
right.
AWB plus. I'm like, affirmation.
You just sometimes you have to speak it into an existence. You just have to.
It is true. But going back to what you're saying, that foundation of self-worth, that foundation of self-love is the foundation before anything else gets built on top.
Right.
So I work with women one-on-one in the community, right? So I work with Project Beauty, but I started a one-on-one mentorship program to where women can actually work with me one-on-one. And I tell every woman, we're not here to get rich quick because you want to build a business.
Right.
I'm not here to tell you how to get your husband. What I am going to show you is build this foundation.
Right.
Because there's so many things out there. If you look on any time, any given moment online, you can find a million workshops. A million workshops.
A million.
That will tell you how to build your business.
Right.
How to be a good wife or be a good partner. But guess what, guys? You need a foundation before you build all this
how
other
to be a good
stuff.
you.
You gotta have this solid foundation of you, because everything that you build on top is always gonna crumble if you got a shitty foundation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just said, sinking sand. You can't build a mansion on sinking sand.
So that foundation to self-love is what I stand for, is what Project Beauty stands for. We're here to empower women to build that foundation of self-worthiness and self-love so that we can have a healthy emotional, mental health. So that when we go out there into the world and we start building these businesses and relationships and these amazing things that we all want to do, we know how to do it consciously and on a healthy level. Because you're going to go into business someday and they may try to get over on you. And if you can't recognize that you deserve more of that,
gotta have that discernment.
You gotta walk away. I don't care how good the deal looks.
Right.
I've been there. I've been in relationship with collaborations and businesses with Project Beauty. The first year, guys, I made plenty of mistakes. I jumped at every collaboration because I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I gotta move, Project Beauty forward. It's not everything that comes to you is good for you.
That's right.
So, you gotta use your discernment. And that discernment comes from a healthy boundary.
Right.
So,
and as an entrepreneur, you gotta take into account what's good for your business.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta just take a step back, like you said, and reassess. And that's where I'm at. I know what I want to do.
Right.
But it's a matter. And I was like, you know what? Let me do this in phases.
And the people that you work with and you deal with, what I like about Project Beauty is you do a background check.
I do.
Firsthand.
First of all,
Like, we ain't playing no games. Background check.
But then I was like, okay.
I love
No, it just was. It was shit. I didn't want to
It is
break
a
nothing
personal-
up on my
Right, you're not gonna find nothing over here.
I've been in some Jesus shit. Boop. That'll be for another time.
Boo boo.
But I was like, oh yeah, she's legit. I love legit things.
Yes,
For real.
Okay,
yes.
I'm not
For
going
real.
to just
Yes.
waste my time.
We're
Like,
legit,
I'm not
y'all.
going
here
here.
with no foolery.
Just so
And I'll
like,
tell you, that day I was like all pumped up. And I was like, oh my God, what do I say to these women? How do I keep them motivated?
Right.
Do you know what? All they really wanted was somebody to listen to them.
That's it. That's
They
it.
they just wanted me to touch out.
I mean, I ended up getting poured. Here I am, the vessel, bringing the juice and the
Right.
water.
Yes.
You ain't got no filling me up. And
They
I was
had
just
the juice.
like,
They had the juice.
okay, Yeah, you got the juice. You good.
For real.
I never lied. She was like, well, you can just come in. I was like, oh my God, I haven't done makeup in a long time. I don't know what to do.
Right.
But I got all this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm here. She was like, come in. And I was like, okay. And then Prince was like, hey, Jess, you can do hand massages. And I was like, hand massages?
Reflexology.
For real.
But it was so cool because most of these women, when you talk about the self-worth, think about this. If you have a woman who already wakes up and is like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so this, I'm
right.
blah, 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 which a lot of them were doing a lot of negative self-talk. And even when I was younger, I used to do a lot of negative self-talk, still do. But I've overcome that and I had to replace that. And so every negative thing they would say, I would, tell them something positive.
Like, no.
And a lot of them like, oh my God, my skin. And I'm like, they really did like real talk. Some of them have like the softest skin I've ever felt. Like, I'm like, I have calluses on my hands. These are
like if I
work hands.
hard, I'm going to rub your skin off.
Right. And they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This just feels so good. But it's just the power of human touch.
It's a power of human touch, a connection.
Right.
Holding the space for other people to
I'm worthy enough for someone to come and actually just rub on me. You know what I mean? And I'm a rubber.
This is a simple manicure.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Simple manicure. Facial.
But how powerful that is. I mean, as a woman, you go into the salon, you walk in feeling some kind of way. When you walk out in that moment, how do you feel?
Relax.
Like $1 million bucks.
Like you can conquer the world.
Right.
When I get my hair done, that's my thing. My
right.
Hair. Okay, that's how it really started.
Is that when the other
I used to
comes?
save my money. This is kind of
when I get my hair.
But I remember I used to save money to go get my hair done, to go on job interviews and things like that back in the day. And I remember just leaving that salon going, you know what, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I know I don't have much right now, but it's going to be okay. I was able to kind of look at myself in the mirror and go, you know what, you look beautiful today. And I just want to bring that feeling to someone else.
Yeah, to just
part of that motivation.
Turn that switch.
Because
your body gets tired. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes those repetitive things that you've done for so long, you eventually just get tired of it. You get tired of saying, oh God, look at these bags. You get tired of thinking, oh no, I'm not good enough for that. You get tired of thinking, oh,
you get tired of living a double standard life.
Everybody else can be happy. Everybody else can have all these things, but it's just not for me. There I go. That's just the way my life is. And it's like, well, at what point are you going to take control and say, F them hoes? I'm cute.
Right. Well, that's what happened at Mosaic.
Point blank.
At Mosaic, I don't think you were there that day, but there was this beautiful girl from India. And after she got her entire makeup, she got her makeup done, her lashes, her hair, everything. It was in the shelter. She's the most beautiful girl. I mean, she was already beautiful. Mm-hmm. But after she had everything done, she said, oh my God. And I thought she didn't like it because she said, oh my God. And she ran upstairs. She came down in another outfit.
Yes!
She goes, look at me. I'm beautiful today. I almost cried.
Oh, that would have took me out.
She goes, I've never seen myself in this way.
Wow.
This is the first time.
I had
That's
a situation.
That's big.
And guess what? In 2 weeks, she went and got it on an interview. Now she works at a bank. And she moved out of the shop.
I had
wow.
Oh, that's
Friday.
so amazing.
This is what we do. That's the stuff that we do, y'all.
That's
I hear it all the time. The letters that I get from women who say, I met you at so-and-so. I'm now out of the shelter.
Wow.
I get chills, y'all, because I remember those words.
Right now.
Yeah.
I don't forget those women that write. And I share it sometimes online.
Right.
Because that's the impact that we're making, y'all. It's beyond the lipsticks, the blush, the massage.
Absolutely.
It's the confidence someone feels and the self-worth they see and go, I can start my new life now. I didn't know before y'all came.
Right.
I was afraid. But you know what? In this moment, I feel strong enough to go kick some ass.
Right. Take a chance on. I bet on myself. Boom. That's sometimes the biggest fear that you can overcome. I experienced that personally. Like, I have to bet on myself. I have to say, you know what? Just go try it out. Just do it. And so a lot of those things you're talking about, who would go to a new beach? Like, at first I'd be like, right. But then I'd be like, okay, well, let me just take my shirt off. Okay, let me just, hey, it's not so bad.
Eventually you're like, it's not that
bad. Right. So it's like, just try it. So a lot of people are afraid of that leap of faith to say, let me just try. Even you ain't got to leap. You could slide in that thing.
Right.
No. You could slide in that thing, and if that works out, you can slip right back on out.
We had a situation with a middle schooler talking about self-esteem and self-actualization, and the baby, she had an accident in PE, and I guess the ball hit her glasses. So she didn't want to go back to class. I mean, literally, because she broke her glasses. And I was talking to one of our educators, and I said, well, what's going on with the baby? She said, well, she doesn't want to go to class because, she doesn't feel right. She doesn't feel whole. Confident. Right. Yeah. So I was like, I sat there for a minute. I said, baby don't know me. I said, you know what? I'm going in there. Let me see what's going on with her.
Right.
So I get in there. She's a little thickums, cute.
Hey, girl.
Hispanic girl. Right. I said,
I love being chubby.
I love being chubby. And I'm like, I got on glasses and my head shaved. What's up? What's your problem? And so she was like, I said, well, where the glasses at? Y'all, I'm telling you, when I saw these glasses, I just almost fell out on the floor. She had paper clip and tape on one side. And then the one lens was gone and the whole frame was cracked. I said, what, baby? I said, when's the last time you got your glasses done? And she said, well, it's been a while. I said, well, where did you go get your glasses? And she said, Pearl Vision. I told the teacher, I said, call the counselor real quick. I said, I need some intervention here because I need this baby to know. And I showed her, I said, let me tell you something. I wear glasses and I'm tall and I'm thick. Right. And guess what? I'm a pageant queen and I model. And I showed her some pictures of me. Yes. And she was just
in awe.
Yes. And I'm like, it can be done. I said, baby, I can't see without my glasses. I said, don't, I said, you're going to get your glasses fixed. And you're going to go back to class and you're going to be fine. Yes. Right. So by that time when I came back, she had already went and talked to the counselor and everything. So I got to check on the situation on Monday. But I was just like, I'm ready to okay, we're going to check out. We're going to make sure she get what she needs. Right. Because I know it was a financial situation. And she didn't want to get into that. Right. And that's why I said, let me check. But something as simple as glasses. Yeah. I need my glasses in order for me to feel worthy enough to go back in here and continue being educated. Girl.
You know what? I just want to mention the fact that you girls are doing. First of all, I love everything you guys stand for. When I met Fancy and she told me about her being a pageant queen, I haven't really been in that world, but I understand it so much more just knowing through Fancy because y'all. I get emotional saying this too because as minority women, y'all, I just want to get real because as a minority woman coming into this country, we are often told that we're not beautiful. Right. Y'all gotta get me all emotional. I used to get bullied a lot. You would never look at me today and think that I never felt beautiful. Right. Because of how I am now. But I'm gonna tell you, I've endured so many years of feeling like I'm not beautiful. Because I didn't have blonde hair. My skin looked this way, my eyes shaped this way, and just all these things, right? But when you guys can come on this platform and show other women, you don't have to be a size 0.
You show
beautiful come in all sizes, colors, shape, personalities. It's everything. Right. You're beautiful because God created you.
Right. Period.
Absolutely. Period.
Period. So empowering. So I understand the concept of the pageants. Like I understand, like when I see you doing it and the way you guys use your platform, it just makes sense to me. So thank you for you guys doing that. Absolutely. And it needs, and it really, everybody should understand that beauty is everything. It's every size, every color, every shade. So anyway, I just want to.
I know, and it seems like it gets redundant, but it's all. You're always that one little girl away from making an impact. You know what I'm saying? And you would be surprised. It was funny because where was I at? I don't know where I was, but I had on my winter coat, it's like a pea coat, and in the back it's ruffles. And I was like, oh, cute, ruffle back. So I think I don't know where I was, but there was a mom and a daughter, and the daughter she was chunky, and you know how you just feel people staring. Yes. And I was like. Yes. Because she would move herself. And she's a kid, so it was kind of obvious. You know what I mean? So, but I just noticed that she was watching me. So just the fact that she was watching how I could carry myself, because I think I had on my colorful boots, and how I carried myself, and oh my God, you're wearing color. You're not dressed all in black. Right. You know what I'm saying? These edges
not to die for it, and they really get out of town. But I was like, let me go and just smooth it on down and wrap this up. Because you can pretty up. She can be prettied up real good.
Right.
Quick. But it's just the fact that I think she saw just a woman that was similar to her.
Yes.
Right.
Seeing yourself.
And seeing yourself put together. Because people don't know, like, I got to make it my decision to dress dumb a lot of the time. So, but when they see me in this or, makeup and it's like, and even one of the ladies in Project Beauty was like, you look like a beauty queen. I'm like, girl, I got some lashes and eyebrows.
And she was like, oh, what did she say about your body? She was like,
yeah, she was like, you're so curvy.
You're so curvy. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, please don't tell Jessica. She's already extra. Like, oh my God.
No, but here's the thing. When she said it, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so bad.
Right.
When she said it, I was like,
I already know.
Confident in yourself.
Yes.
And you start to see yourself how you want to see yourself.
Right.
You build upon that.
Actualization.
So, and you're never going to find it if you don't ever have a foundation. So sometimes you just got to throw the whole damn thing away. And yes, it will take work for you to learn you.
Away.
That's going to be our episode. Throw it there. Throw things away.
It's got to go.
I'm not carrying anything.
If your mama and your daddy pack bullshit and cigarettes in your suitcase, and neither one of those you do, throw it away.
There's no use for it.
My daddy said this, my mama said that, my brother said this, my sister said that, my aunties and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Throw all of them away too.
Right.
Throw all them away too.
I love it. That's going to be my saying. That's going to be
throw it away
and
start over.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
You have that choice. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Every day that you wake up above the ground,
we have a choice.
You have a choice.
And especially for women in the community.
Powerful.
Right. Women in the community.
Is Dr. J on here?
They have a choice.
You have a
choice. And I know, like, a lot of times, even in abusive situations, like, I know that when I say that to someone, you have a choice, that's not always the case.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, if you start building inside and you make a plan, it's going to happen.
Right.
I had a plan. I had in my mind that I was going to be out. After that incident, I was like, I have to get out of this. Mm-hmm. And when you make up in your mind that it's done, guess what? That way will come.
Right.
But you got to make up in your mind first that you are worthy of something more. The moment we make up in our mind that we deserve more, the universe, God, source will come and answer that.
Right.
See, when a woman realizes she got to leave for herself,
she's not coming back.
She out of there.
Yeah.
And it's a
another thing, it's like
feeling.
you already got one enemy. If you're in an abusive relationship situation or whatever, and abuse doesn't mean romantically. It don't have to be a husband or a boyfriend. It could be a brother or a sister. It could be a relative or an abusive friend.
Right.
You have to find a boss. You have to find your worthiness in all situations. And so once you establish that, then you make a plan. You do things to get yourself out of that situation. And understandably, it's not easy. It's not, you know what I mean?
And sometimes you can't do it by yourself. Some people can, but you can't all the time do it by yourself. So you have to start surrounding yourself with good people.
Yes.
And like-minded people.
Yes.
On the same mission as you.
Come on. Like, we went to a shelter, but that place is like a hotel.
It was.
American Inn is very nice. And it's
hope for the helpless is what I seen. I was like, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
It didn't feel yucky. It didn't feel like, oh God, I'm in this
It did.
place.
Because the last thing you want is for someone to go and feel like they're living in a dump.
Right.
Because you just left one, probably.
And that's part of the reason why we do the Gift of Beauty, right?
Right.
Talking about Project Beauty, we do Gift of Beauty with full-size makeup items.
Yes.
Because, look, it's great to give samples. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're already getting a bunch of hand-me-downs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's always donated, something that somebody else don't want.
Right.
I want to give these women new products.
Right.
Full-size products. From Sephora, right? They're one of our sponsors.
Exactly.
I mean, for us to give someone a new package, a new makeup with full-size products, that's huge.
That's big.
That's huge.
It just reinforces the value that you see in them.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's good.
I'm worth more than like 99 cent eyeshadow.
Yes.
Or the
Not saying
sample.
It's gonna be better or whatever.
Right.
Sample sizes or whatever. But sometimes it has to be something that's tangible. because with their realities and what the abuse that they go through or whatever, they're displaced or whatever, that's all really, really, really real.
It's real.
So you have to match that with tangible things, tangible little nuggets of hope, help, and love. Yes. And that's what I saw. Yeah. And that's what I see in Project Beauty, which is
and a lot of the times hope doesn't cost anything. Just a simple compliment will change a person's day, their mood swings, whatever.
Yeah. When she told me you like beauty queen pretty, I was like, let me get these bad
for real. Intentional though. What you're talking about is living intentionally. Right. Because how many times we go through the day, right? And we're like, what happened today?
I don't know.
You're literally just going through the motions. Mm-hmm. So my thing is when I get up in the morning, I always tell myself, what intentions do I want to set today?
Right.
So that in every interaction, there is a purpose, right? You're not just doing something for the sake of habit or going through the motions. Right. You're doing it with the intent to change something, to encourage someone, to empower whoever that you come across. That's our gift as humans, right? Is that we have the power of intention, right? We got to use it.
Right. And God is an intentional God.
He is intentional situations that you can't get out of. Now, if you're on your own on some dumb stuff, well,
you in
your valley, and you're going to be like, look at this dummy. I'm right here.
I'm finna go over here. I won't.
Right.
My transmission.
Oh, Lord. Well,
the check engine light been coming out.
Right. Yeah, check engine light.
So y'all check y'all souls. Your check engine light is on.
Ooh, y'all oily today.
That is a good one. And they're just driving. They're driving a whole year with the check engine light.
Right.
And then they're surprised when their car breaks down.
Right.
What happened?
What happened?
Check engine light is on.
But Joe, tell us this. Where can everyone find you? How can people donate?
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
So, please, if you are, first of all, there's so many different ways for you guys to help. If you are a beauty professional and you like to donate your service, so that means if you're an esthetician, if you're a massage therapist, if you're a hairstylist, makeup artist,
manicures,
especially manicures, nail techs, we definitely can use your help. We are always looking for volunteers to join us. Second of all, if you're a donor, if you want to make a monetary support, we definitely need you too. If you have a business, right, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you're looking for a local cause that you can support, we'll definitely love to hear from you. Please go to our website, and that is www.theprojectbeauty.org. Okay. You can also follow us on Instagram, Project Beauty DFW. You see our butterfly come up. You see our logo. Facebook, same thing, Project Beauty DFW. We would love to have your support. You can actually sign up as a monthly donor right now on our website.
Wow.
We just started this membership. And as an angel donor, you get access to our events on an earlier basis because, we throw some really fabulous events, which I'll talk about in a minute. But your support, your monthly support is $15, y'all. That's the cost of a lunch, okay?
Right.
Lunch. You can support us as little as $15 a month. And all of those monetary donations will go towards our Gift of Beauty program that we do, where we fund our beauty bags with full-size products.
Right.
We go into shelters and provide complimentary services, beauty services. We also have an angel clinic. This is our newest initiative for 2020. Basically what this is, it's a program where women who have been through abuse and have physical deformality, so that's scars, branding, tattoos, because I have a branding and I have to go through a lot of lasers and things like that. If you are having disfigure from physical, from past abuse, we can help you. We have funding and we have providers within our network that will help women treat those types of situations. We've done tons of tattoo removals. I mean, it's beautiful to give a woman that renewal sense of, I don't have to live with this.
Right.
I'm not somebody's product anymore.
Exactly. The last thing that we have is trauma healing, which is what we do, like the workshops, the art therapy, the affirmation writing, the journal workshops. All of your money will go towards those programs. So we'll love to have your support. And even if you just want to come out to our events, that will be great too. We have several coming up. The next one that we have is actually on March 8th. It's an International Women's Day celebration. If you go to Project Beauty DFW, you can definitely see all the info. There's also going to be a series of pop-up and events that you'll see on our website. So just make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Stay up to date to everything because there's just so much going on. But like I said, even just sharing our posts, tagging your friends when we have a volunteer opportunity means the world to us. So thank you so much for y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, one question.
Yes.
No,
What was the question?
Will the site be posted on your page? Yes.
Yes. Y'all will post all the stuff.
We'll post and divvy it up for you guys.
Thank you so much.
We thank you again, Joe, for coming out and sharing your experience with us. Absolutely. We thank all the viewers for always kicking it with us Sundays at 2 p.m.
Yes, we on the gram.
We are on the gram now.
One
can see face.
If y'all need a speaker, facilitator for workshop, we also do that too.
Yes.
So please contact me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we love y'all. We will see y'all next Sunday at 2 p.m.